This is Flyover Film Country, a podcast about film, hosted by residents of Arkansas and Oklahoma. We want everyone to know that the movies are great and we're building a community of film fans in Flyover Country.
And today, we are discussing The Bodyguard from 1992, starring Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. So, where should we start? Should we just dive right in?
Let's dive right in. First of all,
right.
I don't even know what the last episode that just you and I recorded together alone
Or it was just you and me?
was. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm
It's
not
been a
gonna try to
while.
rack my brain, but it's been a minute. So
Yeah.
Live Dog and iDog special to OGs.
That's right. The OGs.
Back in the habit.
That's right. Back like we never left.
Two raccoons in a trench coat, acting like. I'm trying to think if there's any like movie news or otherwise. Like, were you able to watch anything else this weekend before? The Bodyguard is very fresh. As of
I
this
literally
recording,
just
you
watched it like an hour
very
ago.
recently. Okay.
Yeah.
Very excited to talk about this crazy movie with you, but before you do, did you see anything else this weekend or this week?
No.
In theaters or?
So this is kind of a crazy sports time right now, and
Did you dive into the Super Mario Galaxy?
No, I
Take a
haven't.
trip around the
I
sun?
didn't take that trip. Did you?
No.
Okay. Did you watch anything this weekend?
I did, but I cut you off before you were able to share more about sports. So what's going on in sports world?
No, it's okay. The OU Texas softball series was this weekend, so that took up every single day of the weekend for me. And then it's the last weekend of the regular NBA season before we move into playoffs, and so that is about to take over my entire life. And I am ready. It's going to be great next 3 months. Can't wait. So we're going back to back.
You've been cycling a lot.
I have been cycling
Kudos
a lot.
to you. I
yes,
feel like that's going to help with your playoffs anxiety.
it's going to help with my anxiety.
Yeah.
My heart rate's just going to stay at like 162.
You should watch the games while you're cycling. Do you have one or do you go to the gym?
I go to the gym. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been cycling a lot. I cycled almost 60 miles this week over the course of the week, which is cool. No, I can't. And here's the deal. I can't do that. I have a very specific pattern of watching playoff games, and it's got to stay the same as we, go back to back this year. So I don't think I can do both at the same time. So it's actually hard for me to watch anything when I'm cycling because I either get so focused on cycling that I forget to pay attention to what's happening, or I get so focused on whatever I'm watching that I forget to pay attention to my cycling. So
yeah,
stay
locked in.
I can't do both.
A couple years ago when Jess was, before we had children, she had set up like a stationary cycle. You have those, you can set up an actual bike to, and you can stationary set up so you get the feel of you're actually riding a bike instead of getting accustomed to some other shape if you're training for a triathlon, which is what she was doing. And that summer she watched every season of Peaky Blinders.
Nice.
Just on repeat. And then sometimes she watched the tour because the Tour de France was going on around that time too.
She was racing with them, trying to keep up with them.
Yeah. She was like, let's go. So I saw Faces of Death.
Okay, tell me about that.
There is some horror movies of the last 5 years have tried to satirize social media. And this movie wasn't perfect, but I thought it did a very good job of satirizing TikTok influencers and how messed up it is that, in some states you can't read 1984, but you can open TikTok and watch someone get beheaded. And that's kind of what this movie, it's not about book censorship, but it's about hey, Faces of Death is this cult classic film that is it exists in our world and in the movie of this remake, which is also called Faces of Death. And this girl, Barbie Ferreira, is a moderator at a TikTok-esque company called Kino. And all she does is she looks at messed up stuff and either flags it to be removed or moderates it, because, you know, these sorts of companies don't want to come under fire for censoring videos.
Right.
But she's watching this one guy upload videos that are like increasingly disturbing. And she can't tell whether or not they're real. And it's like really, really gross stuff I won't describe, but it starts out in this pretty harrowing way with her kind of falling down this rabbit hole of like digging into this guy. And it turns out the serial killer is played by, I don't know if you've looked into the movie or anything like that, but like Dacre Montgomery.
Yeah, I
think
was
that's how you say his name from Stranger Things, and he's like a little bit too young for the role.
Yeah.
But I thought he was really good. I thought he was really scary. There's a couple like one take scenes that were really, I thought it was just kind of impressive. Like, again, the movie like goes off the rails in the third act a little bit, but I thought the two of them were good. I thought he was really, really good and
That's
scary.
great.
And then there were some like really, really gnarly kills where I was like, my gosh, I've never seen that before. And I'm kind of like, not queasy, but like covering my mouth, like, oh my gosh. So it was fun. Not perfect, but like a fun
cool
movie. So yeah.
I'm glad that both of them are doing stuff like that. I like both of them. Here's the deal. He was scary as Billy when Billy really goes off the rails in season 3 of Stranger Things. He was scary. So good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a scene with him and he pegged me as like someone as like, he looks like someone I know, or I had the like, oh, he looks like this guy. Anyway, I can't remember it, but anyway, so yeah. Want to talk about The Bodyguard?
Let's talk about The Bodyguard. Let's just dive right in.
Let's dive right in. You watched this an hour ago. Finished watching it an hour ago. I watched the last 30 minutes today, like before church, and I was laughing my ass off because it's like all the crazy stuff with the finale at the Academy Awards.
The craziest things happen in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah. So this movie is like self-serious and fun and stylish and doesn't really work, in my opinion, but also is really entertaining and also is the perfect, like, has the perfect set of ingredients to be remade into something like truly amazing. Those are like my thoughts encapsulated about the movie.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I didn't necessarily just love it, but I really enjoyed it, you know? And so let's start with things that we didn't love about, well, let's give a recap of what this movie, a synopsis of this film. So, as we discussed, Whitney Houston stars in this. This is her first film acting role. And so she plays this singer actress named Rachel who has this plot out to kill her. And her team hires Kevin Costner to be the bodyguard, right? And so it shows
begging him. They're begging him.
They're begging him. Yeah, they're begging him, and he's like, "No, I don't want to do it because I don't work with celebrities." And they talk him into it, and he realizes that this is a really serious threat, and her team is protecting her or keeping her in the dark about how serious the threat is. At one point, we learn that pretty quickly into the movie that the stalker has broken into her house and she doesn't know. And she has a little boy who she also wants to really protect. And so lots of things happen that some things work, some things don't. So we'll get into that. I think I like starting with like kind of the stuff we don't really love and ending on the things we do love personally. So,
Okay.
is that what you would like to do?
I think that sounds great. Do you want to go first?
Great. Yeah. Okay. So in this movie, we meet her sister, Nikki, and we learn that Nikki started a band or something like that in high school, and then Rachel, again played by Whitney Houston, joins the band and ends up kind of stealing the show. And kind of the rest is history. She's this very famous pop star who is then nominated
I know
for
exactly where you're going with this.
for an Best Actress award at the Oscars. And you can tell she's just kind of jealous her sister is jealous of Rachel the whole time.
Talking
And
like being short with Rachel. And
yeah.
the camera's cutting to her suspiciously. Like
And it's just the way she's like
comes on
wording
screen.
things. It's like, oh, I was like, she's got something to do with this, right? And we learned that she does, in fact, have something to do with it. And it is then just kind of glossed over, it feels like.
For like 45 minutes.
Yeah. And so they go into hiding. Kevin Costner takes Whitney Houston and her son and her sister into hiding at his dad's cabin in the middle of nowhere. And the chauffeur is with them. The cocky black chauffeur, which was what Kevin Costner calls him pretty early on in the movie. He takes all of them to his dad's cabin. And we find out that after a boat has exploded, after Kevin Costner saves Rachel's son from the boat that he shouldn't have been on in the first place, and they're like, why would you do that? They almost drowned because it's the middle of winter. It is rigid water. Yes, you want to say something.
Can I interrupt for a
yes,
second?
Please interrupt.
Just 'cause, like, I'll let you keep going on the tangent, but just for people who are listening to this episode and haven't seen the movie's a great, like, Whitney Houston's music is like all over this movie, and then there's obviously because she's a star, and I think there are two original songs for this movie, and then there's like it's a great soundtrack, but it's like so 90s. It is like so 90s and like silly, even though
like,
Kevin Costner is like trying.
Yeah.
I love
how
that
90s
stuff worked
it
for me.
feels. Yeah.
But
yeah.
When they get to the cabin, there's like, oh, everybody's doing fine, and there's like this weird tonal jump from like when they're in Miami to when they go to the cabin, and it's suddenly like snowy and stuff, and like that's not really what part of my thought, but they telegraph this situation with the boat, like leading up to it exploding, with Fletcher, right? That's the son's name.
Yes.
Fletcher is with Frank, played by Kevin Costner, the bodyguard, the titular bodyguard. And they're like playing in the boat, and he's showing him how to start the boat. And then it's like kind of like, oh, they're having fun, everyone's doing fine. There's still like some tension between Rachel, played by Whitney Houston, and Frank. And then the next day, it's like, okay, it's the next day. They like gone to bed. It's the next day, and then they're looking for tracks, or they're looking at tracks in the snow. Him and his dad, Frank and his dad. And then he goes, "Where's Fletcher?" And then where's Rachel? Boat. Where's Rachel? And he goes, "Where's Fletcher?" And you look and you hear the boat start, and then you see Fletcher just like taking off in the boat. And Jess and I just start laughing because it's like it doesn't make sense. Like so many little things about like the situations that occur don't make sense in this movie because like Fletcher said, "I can't swim," but you see him like next to the pool multiple times earlier in the movie. And in the boat, when Frank was showing him how to start the motor the day before, he like is scared about falling into the water, so it's like not likely that he would go try to start the boat in the first place. And it's just like this whole situation is so silly. And then Kevin Costner runs and jumps off the pier as the boat's passing, tackles him off, And then the boat goes out into the middle of the lake where it explodes. And it's just like most stupid.
And it takes forever.
Yes.
There's so much time between the time that he gets Fletcher back onto the pier and Rachel is like, "What were you thinking? You could have drowned. Like you could have killed him." And the chauffeur is like, "So how do we get the boat back?" And then like 10 seconds later it explodes. It's like I was kind of hoping there was going to be kind of like that cheesy 90s line of like, well, it's gone. We're not getting it back, I guess.
Or like,
yeah.
Good thing I have an insurance policy on that. Like,
yeah.
Anyways,
I had the
Jess
thought
and I were
of
just laughing so hard in that scene. So I had to like describe how ludicrous it is. And there's like several other scenes like that in this movie.
Yes.
Like, that wouldn't happen. Like, what's going on?
Well, and also, I don't know, have you ever tried to start a boat like that, like a motor on a boat like that before? It is not easy. It is not something most 8-year-old
like
boys. Yeah. He's like 8. It's not something most 8-year-old boys, especially a boy who has never grown up around a boat like that, would be able to do. You know, if he had grown up around the water and had grown up on the lake, maybe. But come on. It's crazy. And also, least we not forget, the night before this, so the night before this scene happens, Nikki, Rachel's sister, comes on to Frank. Mm-hmm. Like, tries to get him to have sex with her, and she gets mad because he says no, and she storms off. And then the boat explodes. And she alludes that she knows that they hooked up. Rachel. Right. Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Frank and Rachel did. We haven't even gotten there yet. We haven't even gotten there yet. So, yeah. And so after that, they're like, okay, we're gonna figure out what we need to do, figure out our next move and everything, and they decide they're gonna wait throughout the rest of the day, throughout the night, and then leave at first light. And during that night,
because the batteries in the cars are dead as well.
Oh yeah. I forgot. And the telephone wire's been cut. So they can't leave. So they hang tight. Well, while they're doing that, Rachel just gets wasted. So wasted. And she
Wait, no, Nikki does.
Or sorry, not Rachel. Yeah, Nikki, you're right. The sister, she gets so wasted. And basically confesses to Frank that she hired someone. She doesn't know who. She doesn't know, like, the person's name. But she hired someone to kill her sister. And he is going to do whatever it takes to kill Rachel. So he's the one going, "Where's Rachel?" the whole time. Yeah.
It's just crazy how, like, the more I've been thinking about this movie, the more I'm, like, literally very little about this movie, like, makes logical sense. And it's like, enjoyable. It's really enjoyable and fun to watch, but then it's just, like, they couldn't have, like, smoothed this out, like, just a little bit, especially for, like, how profile it was. You know like, that's kind of
here's the deal. You can't think about it too hard, or else you're gonna hate the movie, I think. And I tried really hard not to think about it too hard. I knew we were gonna talk about it, so I knew I had to think about it somewhat. But so then that happens. He finds out Nikki had this plot for hire, and someone is there to, like, kill Rachel. And he ends up shooting Nikki and killing whoever the guy is.
Yeah, the assassin, yeah.
Yeah, the assassin comes in, kills Nikki, even though right before he shoots her, she's like, "No, I'm the one who hired you," which is crazy. Could you imagine being Rachel and hearing that and being like, "I'm sorry, what? What now? You're the one who did what now?"
And it's not like it is not like Rachel apparently never finds out about this.
Never addressed.
Yeah.
Never addressed.
I was like, okay, this is interesting because it's like a secret now that Farmer's keeping. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, we're just
Never
going
talked
straight
about
to
it
the
again.
Academy
Just
Awards.
going straight to the academy. Yeah. Yeah, they have so Nikki dies. Frank tries to go after the assassin and he escapes.
He jumps
They
out a
think,
window, and it looks really cool.
yeah, looks really cool. A little slow-mo,
Yep.
front flip type situation.
A lot
Looks
of
cool.
slow-mo in this movie.
A lot more slow-mo than I was expecting for sure. I mean, I expected some. It is early 90s, so, but I wasn't expecting as much as there is. Yeah, and then they just like kind of gloss over that. There's like a little like voiceover talking about the funeral for Nikki and
Mm-hmm.
if it was going to be, it was kind of a question mark if Rachel was going to go to the Oscars, and she ends up going.
We
And
don't see the
so
funeral. We just like go straight.
we
to
don't
the
see,
Oscars.
we see, I think a limo. I don't even think it's like what is the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, like what the hearse.
Yes, the hearse.
Yeah,
I don't even think it was that. I think it was just a straight up, it was just a limo.
black limo. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we go straight to the Oscars.
Is what I'm hearing from you maybe something that I'm feeling, that there's this like, they're the ingredients of something truly actually prestige-y,
Mm-hmm.
that is like the logic of the plot is, early on you can tell it's pretty incongruous, but pretty early on you also get the sense like there's pretty good editing, there's pretty good like, oh, he's giving everyone different names when he's going into the house, and you can tell that he has something in mind for that because he's trying to figure out how easy it is to get in. There's the bit where they bring him to her bedroom and say like, someone got in here, left, this is where they found the first note, and also he jacked off on the bed. And I'm like, that's gross,
Crazy. Yeah.
and kind of creep and mean and creepy. And
Yeah.
like, I was like, okay, like I'm kind of into this now, just because I like
Yes.
didn't expect that. But then
Yes.
like, and then there's stuff with like samurai imagery from Yojimbo, because that was like a huge inspiration for the movie when Lawrence Kasdan was writing it. There's a really cool scene with a katana. And then it's just like, after that scene where they sleep together for the first time, it is just a sharp drop off, and like,
Yeah.
it is so crazy. It's like a crazy, like, all the ingredients are there, but it just like got, it's like it got undercooked or something. Or like some baking soda got left out or something, you know?
We put in baking soda when we meant to put in flour. And
Right, yeah.
so, yes. So,
Is that kind of like what, like, that's
yes.
that's how I
yes.
feel. I don't
yes,
know
exactly.
if that's how you feel. 'Cause,
No,
like,
I think that's
yeah.
how I feel too. Because I was thinking the first 20-30 minutes I was about it. I was like, yes, let's get into this psycho crazy stalker. Let's, like, it kind of felt not quite as like suspenseful as I think like Silence of the Lambs does. You know, it doesn't build suspense quite that way, but I felt like it could have. Like, I felt like we were so close, especially when they are walking through the house for the first time and he, you know, Bill is explaining to Kevin Costner, like Frank, how someone broke in and this is what they did, and we don't really know anything else. Like, I was like, oh, this is like cool. Like, this is scary.
Yeah.
And so then it was just like, okay. So it felt like it wasn't sure, this film wasn't sure if it was going to be a thriller or a romance. And I think it tried to have the best of both worlds, and it didn't quite land like that. However, this was a very popular movie. It was the second highest grossing film of 92 behind Aladdin, I believe.
I made like 411 million worldwide.
So, I mean,
Even
it
though
did
like
really
people
well.
were like, this isn't that, like critics were like, this isn't that good.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack was 45 million.
Listen, hey,
apparently sold. So
listen, you put Whitney Houston on a soundtrack.
that's what you texted me like while you're And I had the same thought, like, damn, what a voice.
Man.
Yeah.
Every time she performed in this movie, I was like, can we just listen to her sing? That's, she was so talented. Here's the deal. Also, this was her first film. I thought she did pretty good.
Yeah. So she got nominated 2 Academy Award nominations for original song, I Have Nothing and Run to You, both which show up in the movie. So I guess I don't know if I Got the Stuff That You Want or whatever that song is called that she plays in the club. Another scene I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But I guess that was one of her previous
Queen of the
songs.
Night.
Oh, Queen of the
Night.
Okay,
yeah, that's what that song's called.
Yeah.
Where she's just where she's showing her music video for the first time.
Yes.
Yes, that's Queen of the Night.
Okay. So, can I share about like what I learned about how her acting career was kind of starting to take off at that point, or like how she was approaching it?
Yeah.
So, she wanted to build her career slowly, and there had been offers from other people, like Robert De Niro. This was kind of the period in the early 90s where he was directing stuff, Spike Lee and Quincy Jones, and she was kind of soft pedaling but trying to figure out the best way to get into acting. And then this was it, where it was like, it was a lot for her to take on, and I feel like ultimately I thought she was good, and I think that the two of them like carry the movie together. But I think that she comes where it cracks isn't because the camera's on her so much, or like the story is so focused on her. But I think that the whole logic surrounding like by default, the movie ends up being like, it just doesn't work as well for her as one of the main characters, because the movie is so focused on Costner being this like samurai figure.
And I
don't know if I explained that well, but I think that that's kind of how
Okay, so let me make sure this is what I think is her character is really underdeveloped. We see her be this kind, because she's like, I'm a bitch. They say I'm a bitch, and it's just like, okay, but why? We don't get to like really learn why she is. She's not. Doesn't. I don't know. It just, we don't see a lot of her character and the background of her character, and I think sometimes in movies that works really well, and I don't think it worked that well in this one. I think with what she was given, she did great. Whitney Houston did great as an actress. But I do think that the character of Rachel is underdeveloped. And it is more about Kevin Costner's Frank and his character. Which the movie is called The Bodyguard. So it makes sense that it's about him, but they focus so much on their relationship.
He was one of the producers, so
yeah. And here's the deal, like he wanted Whitney Houston to take this role on, and they had a lifelong friendship. I mean, he spoke at her funeral, and I mean, I was reading about it earlier, and it brought me to tears just reading about how much he just really loved her and admired her. And that was really moving to me, just seeing that. And I knew he spoke at her funeral. I mean, I remember when she died. Just really tragic. And I was reading a little bit about Whitney's life kind of before and after this, and she had probably already started dabbling in some drug use. She had several miscarriages, and she had a miscarriage on the set of this film. And
ooh, that's sad.
Yeah. She had a miscarriage on the set of this film. She only ever had one daughter whose name was Bobby, with Bobby Brown. Bobby died, I think 3 or 4 years after Whitney died. And her daughter was only 23. I mean, she was born in 93, I think, when and so shortly after this movie, she had her daughter. And so just really sad. I mean, I hate seeing that happen to anyone. And it just makes me really, because like, I grew up listening to Whitney Houston. My mom loves Whitney Houston. And so when she died, that was a really big hit in my family because we love Whitney Houston. And so anyway, but so I don't know where we were at with that before her kind of slow building this film career, her acting career.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I was trying to kind of get across is like, it's easier her part is way more showy, even though I'm not sure how much Kevin Costner appears on screen versus Whitney Houston's character.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's just easier to have flaws pointed out when you are being more showy, and that's ultimately what she is. But she's also like a star in this movie. She's like enigmatic, even on like some line readings where I'm like, that wasn't really your fault. That's just kind of a bad line. Like you should have said it how you would have said it,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And then particularly when she just gets mad at Farmer for like no logical reason. It just kind of comes back to like, there's just some there's major logical fallacies that don't connect on like a human to human basis. Like when she gets mad at him right after she pushes the button when she's on the stage at the Academy Awards.
Yes.
And he's like, she gets mad at him afterwards, like, you made me look like a fool in front of those people. And I was like, what did you want him to do? I literally said that out loud.
That's literally his job.
Yeah. Yeah. Like no one was about to shoot, so he didn't do anything. And she got mad at him in that moment. But she is really good. I was like, dang. Whitney Houston.
Yeah. Listen, Whitney Houston has done she produced The Princess Diaries 1 and 2. She produced Cinderella with Brandy. She produced The Cheetah Girls and wrote the music for The Cheetah Girls 1 and 2.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why the music is so good in those movies is because she helped write it and produce it.
Okay.
And so, so she was a producer on The Princess Diaries, which was not expected to be as big of a hit as it was. And here we are 25 years after the fact, and they're about to start making a third one. Like it has stayed in the
real?
Yeah. Anne Hathaway
right.
and Julie Andrews are both like signed on to do it. So
nice.
However, I mean, it is sad that Whitney Houston won't be a part of that project. So, but that's and because it's been such a huge part of the cultural zeitgeist, especially amongst millennial women. I mean, that was a movie like I grew up with that most women our age grew up with and love. I mean, it's such a good movie. I could tell. Let's just start talking about Princess Diaries.
Okay, yeah.
So, okay, so
Summer of Anne Hathaway, because we're getting
Summer of Anne Hathaway
2.
Man, yeah.
30.
So, Mother Mary.
Okay, so like I need to recount real quick. We'll get back to Bodyguard in a second. But The End of Oak Street, the new film from J.J. Abrams, directed by Michael Sarnowski's directing that, right?
That sounds right.
The guy who directed Pig? I'm pretty sure he is.
Okay.
But I was like, does this mean she's in 7 movies this year? And if it is, I'm like, that is
that
crazy.
One, Devil Wears Prada 2, Mother Mary, Verity, Odyssey. What are the other 2? Hey, you know what?
Let's put a pin in it.
I'm gonna go to IMDb real quick. You keep talking.
Sounds good.
You keep talking.
Okay. Another thing that I wanted to, so, we talked about kind of where Whitney Houston was at during this point. a good kind of springboard, like not even a, it's like a commercially and culturally positive springboard for her into Hollywood. And she always got to do what she wanted to do up until she, passed away. At this point, Costner was like probably at his apex mountain, to quote Bill Simmons, or on his apex mountain. So he'd, in the 5 years leading up to Bodyguard, had done The Untouchables, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, Dances with Wolves, JFK, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And he had acted and directed Dances with Wolves and won for both, which is like really, really insane.
Also, has that ever had that happened before?
I have no idea.
I would guess that hasn't really happened.
The first time.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
and maybe the last time. I mean,
you know what? If we had our producer on,
where's our producer? He decided
to have another child, so
whatever. Also, she's going to be in 5 movies. Those are the 5. They're on IMDb. Did
one get moved?
There was something that looked like it was like it said untitled FBI comedy with Dave Bautista, and it says 2026, but it doesn't. It looks like it's in pre-production, and so I don't think it's coming out this year. Okay. What was I looking at? Keep talking. I'm going to look to see if anyone has won Best Director and Actor combo before.
Yeah. So real quick for people who haven't really followed what Costner's been up to recently, he put like hundreds of, maybe not hundreds, but he put most of the funding for Horizon, an American Saga, which came out 2 years ago, I think. He directed it. It's in 2 parts, directed and starred. I mean, he took all his Yellowstone money and basically put it into Horizon Part 1 and 2. Part 2 is done and completed. Part 1 barely made like any money. I think it made like less than 100 at the box office, and cost much more than that to make. So it's like kind of like a from 92 to the 2020s of how his star has fallen and how much times have changed. Because the Western has really completely, almost totally shifted in its popularity to television. And he was like part of that wave.
Right. Thanks a lot, like, Taylor Sheridan.
Exactly. The bet that he put on people are gonna go, who watched me in Yellowstone, are gonna go see Horizon, did not pay off at all. Yeah. Which is too bad. Like, I don't like that it happened that way, but it's just interesting to realize that that's the reality.
So okay. He won Best Director for Dances with Wolves, and Dances with Wolves won Best Picture. He did not win Best Actor that year. He was nominated, but he did not win. So, but I couldn't see where anyone was nominated in the same year. I mean, Clint Eastwood's been nominated for Best Director and Best Actor. I don't think it said in the same year.
Okay.
Anyway.
So Costner is like super powerful at this time. Put a bunch of money into the movie, and
I say it did pay off. It paid off pretty well for him, I think.
The samurai thing was something that Lawrence Kasdan wrote in because in Yojimbo, which was directed by Akira Kurosawa, and Toshiro Mifune plays a Ronin who kind of pits these warring factions against each other in the movie. And the whole thing is like, he is a samurai. He doesn't have a master, which is not the way of the samurai. So he doesn't have a master.
Isn't that what a Ronin is, though?
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Exactly.
I just wanted to make sure. I genuinely just wasn't sure.
Yeah. So he doesn't want to die, but he's not afraid of death. And that's what, like, the movie is really obsessed with this image of like, or this idea, this concept of like, and it does touch on it. And it is one of the really, really good things about this movie that I really love is like, it's just a really interesting concept, especially when it's contentious between both of them at first. And then they fall in love, but then there's just terrible whiplash in like, okay, now I can't do this anymore. Like he can't be a human really. And I won't like get into how I feel about it at the end, but the scene where she pulls out the sword when they go back to his place, and it's like the most bleak looking like basement. Like I think they're in his basement. Like
they're in his basement,
like,
which
what?
I read on IMDb that's the same basement in the character Gibbs from NCIS. That is also the same set they use for his basement in that show, which is hilarious to me. So wait, how come you won't get into your feelings about how it ends?
No, I will. Like, but
okay, you didn't mean right there. Okay.
Right.
Sorry. I was like, dude, that's what the whole point of what we're doing.
Bodyguard was like the first. Lawrence Kasdan said it was the first thing that he wrote that he knew was good, which is really interesting because it was before he wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark and Empire Strikes Back and like all these other things that like just catapulted him to fame.
Yeah, I was about to say
like 72 or 75. And then it was he wanted Steve McQueen and Diana Ross to be the lead. So it was always this like a black superstar singer with a white bodyguard who was like stoic. Diana Ross and Ryan O'Neal start dating. Or no, Steve McQueen pulls out because he has health issues. Ryan O'Neal steps in as farmer, and then he and Ross start dating, and they can't agree on the material, and the project like dies. In between this, Warner Brothers purchased the movie for $20,000, and then Kevin Costner read it in 1985 when he was making Silverado with Kasdan. And then after that, Kevin Costner became the most powerful person in Hollywood and then basically made it happen. And the two, him and I'm assuming that it was Costner and Mick Jackson, the director, who kind of convinced Whitney Houston to take the role because she was like, the biggest thing in the world at that point.
Right. And it really cannot be stated enough or emphasized enough how big of a star Whitney Houston was. I mean, I think people our age did not really get to see her, obviously, at her peak. But she's one of the greatest singers of all time. Amazing. And so it was a huge deal that they got her, especially, again, as we previously stated, other really big names were trying to get her to be in their movies. So this was a huge get for Kevin Costner. So, yeah. So, okay, what else? What else do we want to hit on?
So much. We have so much ground.
So much. We have so much ground
in the next
to cover.
16 minutes.
We can do it.
Can I tell you like my favorite scene in the movie?
Yes, please do.
So after the concert scene is so ridiculous, and I think we should talk about it. But after the concert scene, like right toward the end of the concert scene, Mike Starr plays Tony, who is like the current bodyguard, and he has this incredible face. And when I saw him, I was like, that's the gangster from Dumb and Dumber that they accidentally kill.
Yes.
And I was like laughing my ass off. And then I realized like, oh my gosh, he's been in Goodfellas and Ed Wood and Miller's Crossing and Cruising and James
surprisingly
and the Giant Peach and
not in The Sopranos. How?
I know, which is
don't know.
He's still going apparently.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, he goes out. He's like trying to help Farmer get Rachel out of there, and that whole scene is so crazy. Like we need to get into it by itself. But my favorite scene in the whole movie, he's angry at Farmer because he's trying to help get Rachel out. He gets out to the curb in the rain, and the limo's gone, and you realize that Farmer has moved it to a back alley where he can sneak Rachel out. Well, he does, and they get her home. They get her in bed. She's okay, and he's eating a peach in the kitchen, and Tony comes in and he takes multiple swings at him, and Farmer like doesn't even really like punch him or kick him like that much, if I recall. He slides him across like the huge industrial counter, knocks a bunch of windows or a bunch of like glasses off, and he puts a chair on top of him, kind of like chokes him and pins him down. Not a word is uttered, and the scene is probably like 5 minutes long.
It's a few minutes long.
And it ends with Tony pulling out a kitchen knife and brandishing it at Farmer from the other end of the table, the other end of the kitchen. And Farmer takes a tiny cutting, like paring knife, and throws it, and it like lands, it sticks into the cabinet right next to Tony's head, which is like foreshadowed in a scene right at the beginning of the movie, which is also pretty good. But then Farmer says, "I don't want to talk about this again." And that's like all he says, and then Tony like puts the knife down, and the scene ends, and I was like, this is so perfect. Like I wish that the movie had either known that it should have been more mean and more like psychological and thrillery, or more just like goofy with a plot that was a little bit more logical and made sense.
Sure. Yeah.
So anyway, that was my favorite scene in the movie. I laughed so hard. I was like, yes,
I laughed really hard too. Which I feel like that particular line has probably been referenced in a lot of stuff. Like I feel like it's subtle enough, but also I imagine that was probably one of the big lines from this film at the time. So anyway, but yes, that scene was really cool. The scene at the nightclub where they are trying to show her new music video for Queen of the Night was actually kind of scary because it got really out of hand very quickly. And so the scene right before the fight in the kitchen, it did get really out of hand. And you're not really sure what's going to happen. Is the guy there? And this is another thing where it's like, it doesn't make sense because the threat is there and she again kind of brushes it off as if it's not a big deal. And I just hate it so much. It just doesn't make sense at times. And it makes me mad. But again, I really liked this movie. Like it was fun.
Yeah.
So
it's just like, that doesn't make sense.
Right. Cause again, they take her off, the fans take her off the stage. She's like unwillingly crowd surfing, but her costume is also being like ripped off of her. They're
tearing it apart.
They're tearing it apart. This made me, which I had never had any desire in the first place, but this made me never ever want to be famous ever. Like this seems horrible.
Was this the first time you had seen the movie today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Had you seen it before?
Mm-mm. I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
This was a recommendation from one of our listeners that we...
Yeah, I wish I could... Did we write down who it was?
No, we could probably backtrack, but...
We could probably backtrack. Anyway.
Kudos to you, listener.
So...
You got your own episode. But yeah. And like... And then even like on top of that, I'm like, I don't know that much about like 90s music scene, or like public relations, but I'm pretty certain that debuting a song at a nightclub is like not an efficient or like commercially smart way of spending a star's time. Like if it's Taylor Swift, I'm like, we're not going to a bar to, unveil Red 2 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Also, I looked it up. Angelina, this was her suggestion. So,
Nice.
Angelina, I'm
What's
so glad that
up,
we were able to do
girl?
one of your movies when we weren't able to do one earlier this year. I'm glad we were able to come back to it. So, great suggestion. But yeah, like this. Here's the deal: the '90s were a weird time, especially the early '90s.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think this is weird. But also, her managers, is that what he was?
Psy was her public
Psy,
relations person, I think.
he sucked.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Yeah. This is the other thing about the movie is like they set it up like more of it's going to be happening at the mansion. And if it was, that would be a pretty sick movie because then it's like okay, who is the killer? Like if we're all trapped in this, like that's a good premise for it because and then the other thing is like I feel like more people should have died like if it was going to be a true cat and mouse game.
sure.
Like it's kind of Psy gets a lot of lines in the movie. And who plays him? Gary Kemp. Gary Kemp plays him. And he gets a lot of lines in the movie, and you kind of wonder he's going to eat it. Or he's somehow involved because he likes the power or something. And he said, I will go talk to her and tell her what's going on.
Yes.
And he didn't.
And he didn't.
And like, it's like really emphatic, like, oh, no, I'll talk to her. He says, like, Duvaney or whatever, Bill. He's like, no, I'll go talk to her. But then Psy clearly never does because she, at the nightclub, that's when she finds out.
So, okay. Psy's last name is Spector. And I had the thought, is this supposed to be, like, allude to Phil Spector? Do you know anything about Phil Spector?
Only a little bit.
Okay, so Phil Spector was this huge music producer back in the, like, 60s and 70s. And yeah, part of me kind of wonders if they are. He produced so much. He was like genuinely one of the most influential like producers of probably ever. And he is now infamous because he ended up killing an actress named Lana Clarkson and tried to pass it off as she killed herself. And so he was charged with second degree murder and convicted in 2009.
Jeez.
And so yeah, and she was killed.
They're trying to like
this was long before. This was like 11 years before he killed her, but it's just interesting. I don't know. So, but again, as we've like kind of learned continuously, people in the industry know a lot of stuff about other people in the industry, right? Like a lot of people knew you don't go to a certain producer rapper's certain parties, right? Is funny in a really gross way, listening to or seeing movies or TV shows reference Diddy in the sense of like they reference him a lot, actually, specifically his parties, and it's like, ooh, so everyone knew, question mark, or like had an idea, you know? And so part of me wonders if they knew, or if it was just, hey, Phil Spector is a really big name and Spector is the last name we're going to use. I don't know. That's just a thought I had. Doesn't matter, I think, at all. And it probably doesn't connect, but it was just a thought. Anyway.
And the movie's not like... Well, and that's why, like, as one of my final thoughts, like, this is why I feel like you could go in so many... This would be, honestly, like, a perfect HBO series. Because you can... If you write characters who are as enigmatic as Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, and you can spend a full season with them, you can go into like the deep dark dregs of fame and the corruption of the music business and how it like morally corrupts people, what it does to families. Like all of these threads are here. Like you got a guy who is just doing stuff for money, but he doesn't even really love the money, but he's just doing it because he knows how to do it. And there's some kind of moral conscience there. The samurai thing is so funny to me because like there's something primal about, like, I've told y'all before, you and Walter, how much I love swords and how swords are so cool, and they're like this.
That's just such a guy thing.
It's a guy thing, and I'm telling you, like, samurai is like a guy thing.
It is. No, I know it's a guy thing.
And
yeah,
there's even a movie called Les Samurai. Who, do you know about that one? It's like the French movie.
Yes. Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I do know of it.
I think his name is Alain Delon. This movie's so cool, and he's very stoic, and it was who Brad Pitt based his character on for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, cool, suave, nothing ever bothers him. And it's kind of this whole thing about, like, I'm kind of a corpse of a man, but I'm ready to meet death and kind of sacrifice myself, but I don't know if I feel anything. And it's like kind of male bullshit, even though it's somewhat valid, because it's like how a lot of men feel, because a lot of men feel like empty inside. So because
men
I just
refuse
think
to go to
funny.
therapy.
And yeah, exactly. So like if you said it in the modern day, then you could have someone like that.
Okay.
Trying to go to therapy and deal with them, but then
a Tony Soprano.
Yeah, exactly. It's but he's more vocal and
that's just
than like Frank Farmer,
right? Sure, yeah. Well, and he's so much more volatile. You know, that's like anyway. We're not talking about The Sopranos, although we could. So, okay, my question to you, Isaac, is I love this idea of making it like a mini series on HBO where we can really dive into these characters and the gross underbelly of the music industry and of fame. So, do you have anyone in mind you would cast in this miniseries adaptation?
Dude, yeah, I do. The
okay,
Weeknd
great.
And Sydney Sweeney.
Shut up. God, no. Boo.
Weeknd already missed his shot. Yeah.
He needs to stop letting him try to be an actor. Just make music, buddy.
Yep. I totally agree. Someone needs to, like, Martin Scorsese needs to be like, I'll put you in one of my movies, and then he'd be like, yes, thank you so much, and he'd make him do like the most grimy, stupid stuff to like put him through the ringer
and kill him off very quickly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that was so cool. I was thinking about Killers of the Flower Moon, and I was like, that is crazy that he put Sturgill Simpson and what was the other guy's name?
I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna drive me crazy.
Sorry. Are you gonna look it up? You want me to look it up?
I'll look it up.
Okay.
It's Sturgill Simpson and Jason Isbell. I'm like, and Randy Houser's in it. Randy Houser's in it too.
Yeah.
And especially Jason Isbell, I was like, he's like toe to toe with DiCaprio in that one scene when DiCaprio was like, I don't like you or whatever. And Jason Isbell was like really good. So anyway, but that's the other thing. This movie should have been like, give the people what they want. Just like, let's have them be together at the end. Have them kiss more throughout the movie. Like, I just don't, the will they, won't they, like, they do it so early on. They get together and then they're like, oh, it's a will they, won't they for the rest of the movie. But it's just like, the tension is not there. It's broken constantly. And I just want, it's like, it does not make sense why they would not be together at the end. It just doesn't make sense. To me.
They have different
completely
goals for their lives. He's a stallion that can't be broken, you know what I mean? He just can't be tied down.
I'm done.
Are you?
I think so.
So I don't know. But also, then what's the point of emphasizing I will always love you? Then we'd have to take that out of the movie. So Can't do that.
Other movies that have ended with "I will always love you." You know, pop quiz.
No, I don't know.
One came out a couple years ago that we both saw.
Did we do an episode over it?
About a woman leaving a man. I don't know if we did an episode on this.
Leaving a man? I don't know.
And then one is by the other. So there's three. It's this movie.
Okay.
The movie I'm referencing, and then one by the original singer. Which this movie I've never heard of. Yeah. The Dolly movie is called The Little Best Whorehouse in Texas.
That's with Dolly and Burt Reynolds.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's one.
You've never heard of it? Alexa, my mom's gonna be so disappointed. My mom's gonna be so disappointed in you. She loves that movie.
Not gonna be the first. The Bodyguard was number 2. And then 3 is Priscilla.
Oh, you know what?
She's like leaving Graceland.
Yes.
And that song comes on, and it's just like one of the best movie endings ever.
Well, and it's Dolly's version too, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Whitney's version. So yes.
I was just counting like the song in general.
Yeah. Sure.
But I don't know about you, but like when the song starts playing over and it's Kevin Costner's face looking really stoic, and it's the freeze frame and the credits start rolling, I just started laughing. I was like,
I didn't love that. Silly. It's so 90s though.
It's so
90s.
Yeah. Anyway.
So no, here's the deal. I'm not upset that they didn't end up together. Do they love each other? Yes, but also that's the point of the song is like, I will always love you, but we can't be together. People don't listen, and I think it's funny that they emphasize that people don't listen to the lyrics of that song, and they don't. A lot of people, I don't think, know why Dolly wrote that song in the first place.
That scene, yeah, it's like, man, this song is sad.
It is sad. Also, can we let's give it up for Dolly for writing that song and Jolene on the same day. Give it up for Dolly, everyone. Truly, truly one of the best songwriters. But yeah, it's not like a happy song. It's not a song that needs to be played at weddings. I think for a while there in like the 90s, it probably was. It definitely didn't need to be. Because it's a breakup song. It was Dolly talking about how she was leaving Porter Wagner and his show and was going solo. And she did it. And guess what? We talk about Dolly all the time, and we do not talk.
The world is a better place
for it. The world is a better place, for sure. So,
yeah. Anyway.
But I'm not upset that it ended that way. I didn't love the freeze frame, and it's just Kevin Costner's face with the shoulder of the guy standing in front of him. And so it's like, that's half the screen.
Yeah.
But
because he's in the background, always
protecting. Because he's protecting whichever congressman.
I guess in that moment, he is protecting a congressman. Yeah, he is. We gotta talk about, like, okay, man, we could go on for a while, but like, I described to Jess like the final, it was this guy and his gun.
Oh, his gun was
disguised
sick.
As a camera.
Amazing. Yeah, let's talk about the Oscars for a second. Have
the Oscars like been depicted in other movies in such an extended sequence?
I don't think so. Not like this.
It shows up at the end of Tropic Thunder, because the that whole movie is about like how the Oscars are bullshit, which I love.
Right.
But that last sequence is like 25 minutes at like a fictional Oscars.
Right.
Which is crazy. I was like, has any other movie done this before?
I don't think so. So yeah. Also, we find out the guy. So there was one stalker. And then there was another guy who was trying to kill her, which was actually Frank's like former colleague who tried to sleep with Rachel back in Miami, and she was like, I don't want to do this, and it really looked like he was about to assault her, and he finally like stopped and like left, and so it was weird. It also didn't make sense for him to be the assassin.
It's just the there's no reason. There's no reason to kill someone, go through with killing someone, if your client or the person who commissioned you to do the killing is dead.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, you made that money without having to do anything. That's free money, baby.
I gotta do this. Like, you could intuit that he's personally kind of like upset that she turned him off,
rejected
him
him
down, rejected him. I get. And
well,
that does
here's
make
the deal,
sense, but it's not really explained, and then it's.
I mean, men have killed women for less, so.
So true.
So, I don't know. Maybe it actually does make sense, and we're just trying too hard to give him the benefit of the doubt, and we should stop because men have truly killed women for less.
Who do you think he like went to like fit out that gun as a camera? I
don't know.
It's the craziest conclusion to any movie.
It's crazy. He's got so for those of you who haven't seen this, the guy who is trying to kill her, he disguises himself. He says to Frank that he's there because he's protecting one of the actors. And then the actor later tells Frank he has no idea who he's talking about. And that's when Frank realizes he's the one who's here to kill Rachel. And you see him later with a camera, like right after that revelation. He's got a camera as if he's one of the cameramen for the Oscars, and it zooms in on the camera and you can tell it's like a gun that's like loaded onto it. And there's also a
laser pointer.
Yeah, like a laser pointer attached to it, and you see it on her face, and no one else is like, hey, what's that red dot? That's another thing. Like, no one is like, hey, what's that red dot on your face? As she's like winning the award for Best Actress. And that's when he tries to shoot her, and Kevin Costner swoops in and saves her. Yeah, slow motion, jumps in front, knocks her down, and everyone thinks that he's trying to kill her. They're like, oh, he's got a gun. They start rushing him.
Does he shoot them before? But then he like sits up and shoots.
He sits up and shoots the assassin.
Greg Portman, played by Thomas Arana.
Yeah, kills.
He shoots him
Portman
in the side, and then he shoots the camera. The camera
he shoots the camera, and it explodes
all over his face,
which is amazing. Honestly, I also loved that. That. So, yeah.
Apparently, audiences like completely rejected a version of the movie that they screened in which Frank dies. Which to me, I'm like, I Will Always Love You. Way more
emotional
if the guy died saving her, you know?
Sure.
Because that's the job.
That's the job.
As Angela Bassett would say.
Does she say that?
She says it in Mission Impossible Fallout. Yes, that's the job.
That's the job. I thought she said it in 9.
She probably did. In that too.
Angela
Bassett, get that bag.
Hey, you know what? I respect her and her arm workout. So, any other thoughts? I mean, we're at time, so we're a little overtime.
This was a great episode.
A great episode for the dogs. A dog special.
Yeah. iDog and Live Dog.
That's right. Okay, cool. Overall, I really did enjoy this movie. Had a great time.
Yep. Yeah, this was a good time. We'll be doing one more of these before Walker returns.
No.
Potentially. Okay. Yep. Our next episode is Leroy, Texas, which stars
You got me.
John Magaro and Steve Zahn.
I love Steve Zahn.
Directed by Shane Atkinson. Don't know anything about this movie. We're doing it.
Oh, this is like
Walker
a recent movie.
And his buddy. Oh, can I tell you a little bit about Steve Zahn for a second?
Yeah, always.
Jess and I decide she wants to embark on the filmography journey of every McConaughey performance.
Okay.
And I was like, that sounds really fun. And because we've seen a bunch, but she was like, I want to rewatch Sahara. And I was like, okay. Sahara, kind of similar to The Bodyguard in that so many incredible ingredients just does not work. Like, too much stuff just doesn't make sense or was. It's a shame. Because, like, Steve Zahn's really good in it. Rainn Wilson's in it. McConaughey, Penelope Cruz are like smoking hot in it, and they have chemistry, but they don't kiss until the very end. Not enough kissing.
Not enough kissing. Isaac loves a kiss.
What can I say?
I'm sorry I said that. I regret it. As soon as I said it, I regretted it. Yeah. So, anyway, right. That's it. So we're doing that one.
Thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on whatever platform you're using. Huge thank you to me, because I think I'm going to be editing this episode.
You're going to be producing for a little while.
Walter Lyle break. Our art is by Sean Cohen. Our music is by Corden Jocks. Our next episode is going to be Leroy, Texas. And we will catch you all on the flippity flip. And I will